Have you ever wondered how a belief that started in one small corner of the world managed to reach billions of people across continents? It's an incredible story of faith, travel, and human connection. Let's explore how the world's major religions spread far beyond their places of origin. Our journey begins in different parts of the ancient world. In the Indian subcontinent, Hinduism emerged from a rich tapestry of local traditions over thousands of years. Around the same time, also in India, Siddhartha Gautama attained enlightenment, becoming the Buddha and setting in motion the path of Buddhism. Over in the Middle East, Judaism laid the foundations for monotheism among the ancient Israelites. From this tradition, both Christianity and Islam would later arise, with Jesus' teachings spreading through Judea and the Prophet Muhammad receiving revelations in Mecca. Each of these faiths started as a localized belief system, deeply tied to its specific culture and time. So, how did they embark on their global journey? One of the most powerful engines for this spread was trade. Imagine ancient merchants traveling thousands of miles on routes like the famous Silk Road. These weren't just trade routes for silk and spices. They were superhighways for ideas. A Buddhist merchant from India, journeying to China, didn't just carry goods. He carried his beliefs, his stories, and his scriptures. As he interacted with local communities, he shared his faith. Small communities of believers began to form in bustling port cities and remote oases. Similarly, Jewish and early Christian merchants established communities all around the Mediterranean, and Muslim traders carried Islam across the Indian Ocean to Southeast Asia and across the Sahara into West Africa. Every transaction was a potential opportunity for cultural and religious exchange. These networks created a vibrant melting pot where beliefs could mingle, be discussed, and ultimately be adopted by new people. But it wasn't just accidental. The spread of religion was often a very deliberate effort, driven by passionate individuals. We're talking about missionaries and religious teachers who dedicated their lives to sharing their faith. Think of the Apostle Paul in Christianity, who traveled tirelessly across the Roman Empire, establishing churches and writing letters that would form a huge part of the New Testament. In Buddhism, monks and scholars like Bodhidharma journeyed from India to China, bringing with them not just scriptures, but practices like Zen meditation. Sufi mystics in Islam traveled far and wide, using poetry, music, and a message of divine love to attract followers in places like Persia, India, and Anatolia. These figures were charismatic, persuasive, and utterly convinced of their message. They learned new languages, adapted their teachings to local customs, and established schools and monasteries that became centers of learning and faith for generations to come. Their personal dedication was a critical spark that ignited the flame of faith in new lands. Now, let's talk about power and politics. When a powerful ruler adopts a new religion, it can change the course of history. This is where empires come into play. Take the Roman Emperor Constantine. His conversion to Christianity in the 4th century transformed it from a persecuted minority faith into the official religion of the most powerful empire in the Western world. Suddenly, Christianity had state support, funding for churches, and the backing of the law. This imperial patronage helped it spread like wildfire across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. We see a similar pattern with other religions. The Mauryan Emperor Ashoka in India converted to Buddhism in the 3rd century BC. Shaken by the violence of his own conquests, he embraced the Buddhist principle of nonviolence and sent missionaries to spread the teachings across his vast empire and even as far as Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. The rise of the Islamic caliphates after the 7th century created a massive, unified empire stretching from Spain to India. While forced conversion was rare, the political, social, and economic advantages of being Muslim within the caliphate led many people to adopt Islam over time. In this way, political power acted as a massive amplifier, taking a religion from a small community and projecting it onto an imperial stage. As these religions traveled, they didn't just replace what was there before. Instead, they engaged in a fascinating process of cultural exchange and adaptation. When Buddhism arrived in China, it blended with existing Taoist and Confucian ideas. Buddhist art began to feature Chinese-style dragons and architectural elements. When Christianity spread to Latin America, it incorporated indigenous traditions and festivals, creating unique syncretic faiths like the veneration of Our Lady of Guadalupe which combines Catholic and Aztec symbolism. Islam in Indonesia absorbed elements of local mysticism and pre-Islamic customs. This flexibility was key to their success. A religion that could speak to people in their own cultural language was much more likely to be accepted. It wasn't about erasing culture, but about weaving the new faith into the existing fabric of society, creating something rich, new, and deeply meaningful for the local population. This process transformed both the religion and the culture it encountered. Finally, what was the long-term impact of all this? It was monumental. The spread of these religions fundamentally reshaped societies across the globe. They introduced new moral and ethical codes that guided personal behavior and law. The Ten Commandments in Judaism and Christianity, the 5 pillars of Islam, and the Buddhist Eightfold Path all provided frameworks for living a just and meaningful life. Religions also became the primary patrons of education and art for centuries. Monasteries in Europe preserved classical knowledge through the Dark Ages. Islamic scholars made groundbreaking advances in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. Hindu and Buddhist temples became breathtaking works of art and architecture that still inspire awe today. Of course, this history isn't without its shadows. Religion has also been a source of conflict, from the Crusades to sectarian violence. But its role in shaping our shared human story is undeniable. From the laws we follow, to the art we admire, to the very values we hold dear, the legacy of this incredible journey of faith is all around us. So, the next time you see a church, a mosque, a synagogue, or a temple, remember the epic journey it represents. It's a story of merchants on dusty roads, dedicated missionaries crossing vast oceans, powerful emperors making history-altering decisions, and the endless, beautiful fusion of cultures. It's a testament to the enduring power of human belief, to travel, to adapt, and to shape the world. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey through history interesting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more stories about our amazing world. See you next time.